Hi YouTube, Wes Stampley here, JWS Repair Service. Today we're going to try something a little bit different again. Once again, we're in the kitchen, not in the shop, because hey, it's a holiday weekend and it's hot out there. So today we're going to look at how do you cut up a whole chicken. We'll be right back. Okay, first if we're going to cut up a whole chicken, we need a whole chicken. So this is a whole defrosted chicken, and this it was defrosted in the refrigerator. Don't ever defrost one just laying on the counter at room temperature. You also want to be very mindful of any kind of cross-contamination. That's why I have a different rag that I will put immediately in the laundry when I'm completed. I also make wine at home, so I use a sanitizer. So I've used that already. It's a great sanitizer. It's non-toxic. So I've already sprayed all this area. So you need to be very careful of cross-contamination with raw chicken or pork. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to open the package. You can see all the blood and stuff that's in here. That's why you need to open this up in the sink, because it's going to make a mess. We're going to go ahead and I just like to rinse this bag just in case it decides to drip while I'm getting it to the trash. And then we need to rinse our chicken anyway, so make sure there's not any feathers when you get the giblets out of it.
So the chickens don't come clean?
Well, clean as far as what the processing plant considers to be clean.
So you still have to clean it out?
I always do, yes, because there's a lot of blood in here that's still residual. I'm going to get the heart. Here's what's left of the gizzard. Boy, they just destroyed that. Well, no reusing that, but we're going to rinse this out very well, inside and outside, just to make sure that we get all of the blood and things like that out of the carcass. So.
And why are you cutting up this chicken to begin with?
Well, it's funny you ask that, because there's probably a lot of people watching the video trying to figure that out. Why do I want to cut up a whole chicken when I can just go to the store and buy a package of chicken breasts, a package of legs, a package of whatever? Well, I use whole chickens in several things. One being tortilla soup. I prefer to cook a whole chicken. Now that I don't cut up, I cut that, I keep that, I cook it whole. But we're going to be making fried chicken with this. And I'm going to brine this chicken as well, because the best fried chicken is always brined first. Tech tip. So, if we want to get our individual pieces off the chicken, well, how do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you. I like to start with the leg. We're going to make a cut around like so. We're going to expose the joint right here, and we're going to go right through that. There's a leg. Put that in our pan for our brining. We'll do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to pull this joint back. I'm going to go right through it. Now we have another leg. Now if we want to get the thigh off, that's just a matter of, we'll flip this little guy. We're going to feel over here where our thumb, where that joint is for the thigh. We're going to go right into it with the point of the knife. Cut that back. Make sure we're getting all that. We want to try to keep the skin on there, because like I said, we are frying this. I'm going to cut this around. Get as much meat on that as we can. And after I throw it, we have a thigh. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to feel where that joint is. I'm going to place the knife into it. Cut back. And we'll go this way. And we're going to get as much of that as we can right there. Alright. Whoops, got into the breast a little bit. Okay. And there's the thigh. We're going to try to keep that skin on. Like I said, we're gonna fry this, so we want the skin on it. Now for the wings, simple, same procedure. You're going to feel where the joint is. You're going to plunge the knife, the point of the knife in. You're going to go into that joint, remove it, and then there's your wing. And always take this end off because you're really not going to get anything there anyway. So we're going to leave that. Do the same thing on this side. Find the joint, plunge in, just like that. Cut the tip off. And then we want to get the breast off. So what we're going to do is turn it on its back. We're going to feel the center line bone here in the middle. And I can feel that right there. And we're going to cut on either side of that and follow the rib cage down so that we're not missing it out on any meat here. We're just going to follow that, continue to follow it until we get the breast off. Now, since we are frying this, I'm going to remove the tenderloin just because I think it helps it cook a little bit faster. That way we don't want to keep it too long, or we don't want the meat too thick, because we're going to try the air fryer this time, and that will be another video, by the way. So we're going to go ahead and remove this tenderloin out of here so that that breast is not quite so thick, so that it'll cook a little bit faster when we're air frying this. So there's one breast right there. We'll do the same thing on this side. We're going to feel where that bone is. And you're going to follow that rib cage. Just like that. Until we get the breast.
This wouldn't be possible unless he had a sharp knife.
You do need to have a good sharp knife. I will say that. If you're trying to do this with a dull knife, it would be virtually impossible. Now, what we've got here is the back and just the bones of the carcass. There's not a lot here. There's a little bit of meat on it that's not good, but you know what I'm going to do? I am not throwing this out. I'm going to put that in a gallon Ziploc bag. I'm going to use that for chicken stock. Now, I'm going to remove this other tenderloin. There it is. And there's the other breast. We'll go in and throw that little piece of breast meat that I accidentally got on that one thigh. Everything cut up and we're ready to brine this, but first we're going to go ahead and get a Ziploc bag. We're going to put our chicken carcass in there. And I can either put that in the refrigerator if I want to use it in a couple of days, or I can, I'm going to go ahead and use these pieces too. This is the ends of the wings and the parts of the giblets. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and clean this up. We want to try to limit the cross-contamination. Clean the pan, or the cutting board, rather. I'll leave that right there. Then we'll use our sanitizer. And I might want to use my rag on that. I'm actually using a paper towel on that because there is a little piece of meat right there, so I don't want to do that. There we go. Alright, now that's good and clean. Now let's get our pan up here and get ready to put our brine in. Now the brine is a kind of an interesting thing here. You're going to need 2 quarts of water, but you're going to want to take only 1 cup of that water and put it on the stove in a pan. I used a 2-quart pan so I could add the rest of my water to it. Take 1 cup out of the 2 quarts of water. You're going to add 2/3 a cup of a coarse grained salt. You're going to add 1/3 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1/3 cup of molasses, and then just a little bit of a spritz of thyme leaves. Heat that cup of water up enough just until all of the sugar and the salt dissolve good. Then you can mix the rest of your water back with it, so you end up with 2 quarts plus a little. We're going to pour that over it. Just like that. Then we're going to take our brining bag, pull it up. And I'm going to pinch that off. Give it a good twist. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Sorry, I had to. Alright, we'll tie that off. And we're going to let that get all nice and briny overnight, and then tomorrow evening we'll be air frying this. But for this video, we're complete. So I hope that this video of how to properly butcher a whole chicken was helpful to you. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button. If you really liked what you saw and you'd like to see more of this content, think about hitting the subscribe button. It's free to you and it really helps us build our channel. If you subscribe, go ahead and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be one of the first to know whenever we post new content. As always, we appreciate you watching the video, helping us build our channel. You can always catch us on the web at www.jwsrepairservices.com. Have a great day.
Say bye, Ted. Bye.